What we've been seeing with our stock of the day, and it is WiseTech falling quite heavily today. The Australian Financial Review reporting that WiseTech founder Richard White is being investigated by the Australian Federal Police in a human trafficking investigation. The media organisation reporting that federal police are investigating White over claims he allegedly exploited a woman's immigration status and financial insecurity for sex and provided false information on a visa application. The AFP's Human Exploitation Task Force has launched the investigation into White after a complaint from a former executive from another company. White alleged to have used his power and influence to coerce Caroline Heidemann, a Brazilian once employed by WiseTech as a cleaner, into a sexual relationship, allegedly. Heidemann making similar claims against White last year, but ultimately reached a settlement with the businessman. And WiseTech shares have hit a 5-year low today. So at a 5-year low, Jonathan, is it a buy?
I was on the call probably maybe 4 months ago, and I was asked this question, and I said that, okay, so if Richard White can stay out of the headlines for about 6 months, I think it's a good buy, because obviously the company fundamentals are still, it's still a solidly run company. Unfortunately, when I opened up the AFR this morning and I saw his photo on there, I'm like, oh no, he's at it again. And I was just like, here we go. So basically, for me, he needs to go. It's simple as that. And there's plenty of companies that, once the founder leaves, they go on to greater and better things, and that's what the board has to do now. And they have to get him out of there, get out of the headlines, and get back to business. Unfortunately, till that newer headline comes to light, for me, it's an avoid at these levels. If you still got it and you've held on for this long, I would probably still hold on, because, as I said, it's still a great company. But yeah, unfortunately, we are in an attention economy now. It's all about attention, and unfortunately, this is not all good news is marketable. So unfortunately, at this stage, it's an avoid.
An avoid, but a hold if you have. Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as I said, it's just more. He has another piece of news pops out. He has to go. Once he gets booted, I think that will be the low for the run, and WiseTech will bounce from here.
All right, Zach, what do you reckon?
Yeah, what?
We lost Zach.
Great company. Yeah, and a great company, great product, and it's become an absolute shambles. Case studies for MBA classes around the world, frankly. And I agree with Jonathan. Either the founder needs to leave, or he can use his 34% shareholding and take this private. Do whatever you want to do as a private company then. But it's interesting. There was a lot of shareholders when where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire. And when this whole notion originally started, a lot of the big shareholders said, no, we want him to stay. That was about $70, $90, what it was. Well, congratulations. This is where we're at now. So I think the best outcome for existing investors is private equity comes and takes this out. I mean, they're already getting rid of a third of their workforce. That's a private equity playbook. And take it private, or this founder really needs to abdicate his position. It's an absolute shambles. Yeah, at best, this is a neutral. We have a small holding in it. It's a small holding in the hope that, honestly, that someone takes this private, because the governance issues are just too extensive, to be honest.
Yeah, all right. Well, a shambles, according to Zach, both my guests saying really avoid this stock. Zach does have a small holding, hoping for private equity to come in, and Jonathan says hold it if you have it, but Richard White has to go. So that does it for our stock of the day, WiseTech.